rematch between the Dark Angels and World Eaters. This time the Dark Angels will have their new Codex. I'm going for a Maelstrom of War mission today. We're going for Cleanse and Capture, so it's just the very first one out of the rulebook. And we are playing a frontline assault, which is sort of like Dawn of War, but it's more of an arrowhead, so you're 9 inches from the centre. Like an arrowhead, we've seen that one before. So the objectives, they're down. Got one in the trench here, we've got another over here, it's in no man's land, we've got another behind the wood, another behind the destroyed wood, another in the wood behind, we can see in the distance, and then the last one is in that building. Probably you can see that through the window, so there it is there. So the Dark Angels got to select which side they were going to be on, so this is the side we're going for. This is the one with 4 objectives nearby. It's 2 in no man's land, always dangerous when you're against the World Eaters and they want to come closer to you anyway. Okay, so I've got 2,000 points of Dark Angels here, looking for revenge for the last time. So it's the same army as the last time, because we had a game pre-Codex, now this is a game with their brand new Codex. So just testing out before and after. So because all the points have gone down for the Dark Angels, being able to get ourselves a Librarian as well, so we're going to play with the psychic powers, hopefully. So we've got 2 fast attack detachments together, so that gives us 5 command points in total being battle forged. So we've got Samuel as a HQ, and we've got the Librarian HQ. He will be the Warlord because he can have the Warlord trait to get command points back on a 5+ every time you use a stratagem. So it's like an Ultramarines light, a diet Ultramarines Warlord trait. All of the rest of them pale in comparison to that, so that's why he is the Warlord, because getting your command points back, or the potential of getting them back, is just so important that everything else falls by the wayside, basically. Unfortunately, I think, anyway. But it's just, it needs to be done. I've got Asmodai, and there's the Deathwing Knight bodyguard that he had before. There's the Land Raider. 6 fast attack choices in total, so we've got a unit of Black Knights, unit of bikes here with the melter gun, plasma gun in here with a power sword, and we've got 3 other ones for fast attack. We've got 2 Typhoons, individual ones, and then a Land Speeder Vengeance. We've got an Apothecary as an elite, Ravenwing Apothecary, and then we've got the Flyer and the Filled Jet Fighter with the twin nose las cannon. So the main differences since the pre-Codex, the actual rule Grim Resolve will just really not affect anything here, because we'll not be staying still with the bikes to use that really. It really cancels out, because bikes like to be on the move, Terminators like to be on the move, so it just about cancels them out from that rule really. Jink rule though, it is better. If you move flat out with the Ravenwing stuff, it's no longer a 5+ invulnerable, it's a 4+ invulnerable, so that's good. So we should see that in action. I'm really looking forward to using the Land Speeder Vengeance with its plasma volley, and you can buff that up with a stratagem, so hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate that, because that's been looking forward to using that since we got it in 6th edition when it came out, and it's never really had its due, so hopefully this edition, this will be the one.
Right, so we've got 2,000 points of Chaos Space Marines. It's the World Eaters. It's a battalion force. It's led by the Demon Prince over there. He has Unholy Fortitude, which gives him +1 wound and a D6 shrug off on any wound. And then we've got Khan the Betray. He's too much of a loner to be a warlord, so he's going by himself. Oh, he might have these 5 guys accompanying the squad here in the Rhine over there. And we've got a unit of bikes next to them, and a unit of Terminators. And we've got 2 Land Raiders. Each of the Land Raiders, as you see, and they'll be carrying 2 independent squads of Berserkers. One's kitted out for lots of attacks with chain swords, and the other squad is kitted out with a chain axe, and there's a few plasma pistols in there. And the champion has a fist. Yeah, so I forgot to say, the Demon Prince there, he's got the Talisman of Burning Blood, which allows him to advance and charge.
Right, I've got both forces down now. The World Eaters have got probably about the same size force, but they've been able to use the transports well, so most of the squads are on the transports, so therefore they will have that crucial +1 to the dice roll to see who goes first, because they're all nice and neatly presented. So we've got a Land Raider here. Next to this objective we've got Khan and a Berserker squad in this Rhino. Another Land Raider there. In each Land Raider there's 2 squads of Berserkers. There's the bike squad there, right next to that objective. So they've already got all of the objectives in their deployment zone. There's a Demon Prince lurking in that building, and there he is there. So he is extremely fast. He can jump 12, he can advance, and he can assault with his relic. So dangerous stuff. So just got to keep your nose clean, stay at the back. So the Dart Angels are set up over there. So the big push of World Eaters have forced the Dart Angels out onto the wings. So we've got a unit here looking after this objective. Land Speeder, there's the Black Knights behind the wall, staring down some las cannons. We've got the Flyer right in the corner. It's going to have to swoop in and do some damage to the vehicles, I think. In the Land Raider we've got Asmodai, the Librarian, and the Deathwing Knights. They're going to have to survive some las cannon shots if the World Eaters are to go first. We're a bit scared of those las cannons. We've got the Land Speeder Vengeance here, we've got Samuel, Apothecary, there's another Typhoon, and then we've got one last unit of bikes in the corner here ready to push out. Hopefully they can dart between all the gunfire here. So that's where the forces are. World Eaters will get a +1 to the dice to see if we go first. So here we go. Dart Angels get a 4. World Eaters get a 4 also with that +1. So we'll roll again. Dart Angels with a 2. Okay, so World Eaters go first unless we can steal the initiative on a 6. Please give us a Dart Angel symbol. No, it's a 3. World Eaters will go first. Okay, World Eaters, they get to go first, so they're on the move already. The bikes swing round to the left, we've got the Land Raiders pushing on. The Rhino has moved on, the Demon Prince has also. All this seems very familiar. When you're against the World Eaters, go forward is the key. So this Land Raider goes forward and to the left. It is securing this objective. They need to defend it, the tactical objective, and if they do that, then there's going to be a nice 2 points in there for them. They've got no prisoners as well, so if they can just pick up that first blood, they'll be getting a few points out of there. So they've got the las cannons trained on the Dart Angels Land Raider, it looks like. Looks like it's going to come under fire. There's a lot of land speeders that could possibly cough up, that up. If they do manage to take down the Land Raider, that could be Big Game Hunter as well, because it has got more than 10 wounds. Land speeders, however, don't, so if one of them goes down, it's not going to cough up that victory point. But the World Eaters are going to catch the Ravenwing cold, so this is dangerous because their jink rule doesn't kick in until you go flat out. So you can't jink like you used to, just standing there. You've got to go flat out. So if you go second, you're just not getting your benefit from that. So it's very, very tense at the moment. Right, first shots of the battle, then 4 las cannons going at the Land Raider here. Heavy bolt is going at this Land Speeder, so it looks like he's within 6 of the Demon Prince, so reroll 1s will be awarded here. So las cannons.
This is a heavy bolt.
Oh, the heavy bolts, yeah. So 6 heavy bolters rerolling 1s. So just 4 hits out of that, and needing 4s, I think. 4 needed. Land Speeders are toughness 5. So 4s gets 3. Right, we are 50% from the Land Raider, luckily, and so we're saving on our 3 plus save. Was that 3, did we say? 3. 3, okay. Saves them all, that's a good start. But it's the las cannons that we're afraid of. Here they come, 4 of them. Right, the las cannons then. 3s with rerolls of 1s. So 1 gets a reroll. So it gets 3 in the end. 3s to wound. Hold on to your hats. Just 1.
Come on, roll that one.
Yeah, thought so. So there's 1 command point burned through and it's a success. Right, so 5s to save on the Land Raider, We'll make one, fail one, so that's D6 damage for the Land Raider. It's a 1. Got away with it. That could have been re-rolled if they didn't use that command re-roll, but there we go. Got lucky. Right, the Rhino peeking around the corner there has put 1 wound on the bike, so we're going to have to save on a 3. We do. Right, we've got this Land Raider now. It's going to fire all weapons at the land speed of Vengeance. So it'll be a shame, I really want to fire it if it doesn't die. Reroll 1s because of the Demon Prince. So 3 hits with the las cannons, 3 to wound. And that is 2 solid shots on the land speeder. So 6s to save. This has only got 9 wounds, this land speeder. We do not get any. Right, so just 2d6 damage. It could just take it right out. That's 8. Right, it's got 1 wound left, this land speeder, Vengeance. Well, it could be finished off by the twin heavy bolters here. So 3s, rerolls 1s, so that's a full house. And then I think this will still be 4s to wound. So there's 4, right, so there's 3 5s and a 4. Right, so it's actually toughness 6, a land speed of Vengeance, so 3 of them do work, that 4's cancelled out. So it's saving on 4s because it's AP minus 1. And we've failed all of them. So it's gone, don't even get a shot off with it unfortunately. I was really looking forward to overcharging that with one of the stratagems, but it's not to be. See if it blows up. It does not blow up, so that just goes down. That's first blood to the World Eaters. Right, so with first blood being coughed up there, that's not the end of the points coming in for the World Eaters either. They did get no prisoners for that as well. Also, this Land Raider camping out on that objective, that's putting them instead for 2 points for defend objective, unless the Dark Angels can take that out at the end of this turn, which I highly doubt, but we're going to cross our fingers. So that's the end of World Eater's turn. So that's 2 points right off the bat, secured that crucial first blood. Dark Angels turn 1, the orders have come through. Got Kingslayer, we all know what Kingslayer is, and Seize and Interrogate. Again, that's something along the lines of killing the character, and if it's the Warlord it's even better. So that's going to be hard graft to get that one. We've got Defend Objective 1, which could be more suitable. We've had the Black Knights move from here flat out to this objective. This is Objective 1, we just need to hold on to this. So with Ravenwing going flat out, they've now got an invulnerable force save. I wish we had that from turn 1. So they've now got an invulnerable force save. This stays still so we can get full ballistic skill rockets. This squad goes flat out, just in a circle, and we are now holding this objective with an invulnerable force save. And the film Jet Fighter, that also is elected to go flat out, not its full movement, doesn't need to. So that is now got an invulnerable force save. We've got this unit of bikes here, they've came out and went flat out as well. They've just gone out of sight behind the bunker. So over here, the only thing that moved was the Apothecary. So he's behind the Land Raider. The Land Raider's going to get rerolls of 1 because of Samil, as is the Land Speeder. And Samil's got a plasma cannon under slung. We're going to fire some shots through, see what we can get for our money. So not much in the way of points this turn. Next turn, that's when our 2 points could come through for the Black Knights in the woods. Okay, so just before going to the shooting phase, what we're going to do for the Nephilim Jet Fighter, we're going to play the Dark Angels stratagem, Speed of the Raven. Just you select a Raven Wing unit, and you can still shoot, even if you're advanced. So it costs 1 stratagem point. So we'll have 5, we're down to 4, unless we can reimburse this with the Librarian's Warlord trade, which we do, so we'll get that back. So that was a free stratagem for us. So he's going to be able to shoot without impedance there. Right, start shooting with the Land Raider. It's done the Hurricane Bolters and Assault Cannon at the Land Raider in the distance. Actually achieved a wound, which is pretty impressive, but now we're going to do the Melter Gun, or the Multi-Melter. It is at long range, so hitting on a 3, no. We could have even rerolled 1s, but 2 doesn't help us whatsoever. Alright, we've got Land Speeder, so that's going to do its Heavy Bolters at the bikes in the distance, rockets at the Land Raider. So again, 2 doesn't help us. Oh no, it does, because Samil, because he's the leader of the Raven Wing, we can reroll all failed hit rolls for Raven Wing. So 2 hits in the end, 4s to wound the Land Raider. So we get 2 solid hits. So it's AP minus 2. Land Raider saves on 4. Oh, gets them both right. So heavy bolters at the bikes in the distance. Get them all. 4s to wound, should we say. There's 2 wounds on the bikes. Again, they're saving on 4s. 1 wound on the bikes. Okay, so Amelie's going to fire at the bikes as well. He's going to fire his plasma cannon. We're going to do weapons from the Dark Age. We're not overcharging the plasma cannon because we can't afford for him to die, but this means your damage is increased by 1. So it's basically just a plasma cannon with damage 2. So he's going to get D3 shots. He's only getting 1 shot. Hits on a 2 on those bikes because he did not move. So he's hit. Wounds on a 3. Gets that wound. Right, so 6 to save for the bike. And that's no good. So 1 bike is dropped. So it didn't even matter that we overcharged it with the weapons of the Dark Age because we only got 1 shot. It's a bit of a shame. Let's see if we get the stratagem back with the Warlord trait. No, so we've actually lost the stratagem there. Okay, we're going to have this land speeder now. It's going to fire at the Rhino in the distance. So let's see if we can sort that out. 2 rocket shots hitting on 3s. We get it. 3s to wound this time. It's not a Land Raider. So we'll get 1 wound. Saving on a 5, sorry. No, that goes through. D6 damage. It's a 4. We'll take that. 4 damage on the Rhino. And then the heavy bolter at the Rhino. 1 hit. 1. Nope, not needing a 5. So okay damage on the Rhino. Right, last thing to fire. We've got the Film Jet Fighter. It's going to put the double las cannon on the nearest Land Raider. And then all other weapons are going at the Rhino. I don't think we're going to be able to take out that Land Raider at all. So 2 las cannons. Again, we did advance, but because we played that stratagem earlier, we can fire as normal. So hitting on 3s because we've got strafe and run against the Land Raider with the las cannon. So they're both hit. 3s to wound. 2 wounds. Saving on 5s to the Land Raider. They both go through. Wow, this could be good. No, it's not good. It's just 2 2s. We're going to use a command reroll stratagem for this. See if we can get higher. We need to damage it. Yes, that's a 6. So 8 damage in total. That was worth it. Let's see if we get the command point back on a 5. No, that's gone, but it was worth it, that one. Right, we had the twin heavy bolters at the Rhino. Actually achieved 2 wounds, so it's got 4 wounds left. And now we've got the Black Sword missiles at it. So we've got 2 missiles. And they are damaged too, so if these both hit and wound, we could take it out. So the strength 7, AP minus 3. So need them both to hit, so hitting on 3s, sorry, because we've got strafe and run. So just 1 hit, and needing a no, we need a 4. No, right, so the Black Sword doesn't do anything. Well, that was pretty decent damage there in the end, with that Land Raider taking 8, and the Rhino, it's got 4 left, we're getting there. Okay, so World Eaters, it's worth reminding that they did score this objective at the end of Dark Angel's turn, so they got the extra 2 points there, so 4 points in that first turn. And so they've been able to generate more objectives, which they're going to try and rack up. So, we've got all these las cannons going. This is now hitting on 4s. That looks like they're all piling in and trying to take out this flyer, because this is the one that's got the las cannons, it's the one that might do the damage. So all of the World Eaters inside of this Land Raider pile out. They've got plasma pistols. Going to look to put them to use against the flyer. Demon Prince, he can advance and charge, so he's looking to charge this in the film. So he jumps all the way from over here 12, rolled a 2 for his advance, re-rolled it with a command re-roll, and then ended up getting a 1, so got pretty lucky with him, but there's still a lot of shots coming in, so the las cannons will probably go the flyer's way. Even on this, it moved over to here. It's going to get re-rolls with the Demon Prince on the flyer, so that invulnerable force save is going to have to kick in. And this damaged Rhino goes forward, pops smoke, it's going to try and protect itself. Khan and another Berserker squad is in here, it's worth remembering. And then the Terminators, the crack of the in the air, the Terminators arrive and they've got combi plasmas ready to be put to use. So they're probably going to target the flyer if it's on its last legs. If not, they'll probably pick on a fresh unit over here. So there's these have got an invulnerable force save, this has not. It could even be 50% from there, we'll have to look at it when the time comes. But the World Eaters have decided to go around in a clump, and it looks like they're just going to take out each unit piecemeal here. And so the Berserkers are going to fire 3 plasma pistols into the air. They get to reroll 1s, but 2s will overheat because it's at a -1. So they don't want to see any 2s here. So 3 plasma pistols, there's a 1 and a 1. They can reroll because of the Demon Prince. And they've all hit in the end. Savage. Alright, so strength 8 against toughness 7, I think. We need 3s, that's a triple wound. Right, 7 on 6s, no 4s, sorry, because we've got a vulnerable save bank. Right, we made 2, failed 1, so 1's going to slip through there, so that's 2 damage taken straight away. Okay, we've got a bolt pistol and a crack grenade, trying to throw it up into the jet engine.
It's a crack. Nope.
Has missed.
Bolt pistol.
Bolt pistol.
Yep.
Has not hit, because that means a 4 as well.
Okay, this squad.
Right, 3 more plasma pistols. Are they overcharging as well?
On this one, we have 2 plasma pistols.
Okay, so they're overcharging?
They're overcharging.
Right, so same deal as before. So there's a 2, can't be re-rolled, so one of them's killed himself. And then 1 hit, so needing a 3. Does not get it, that's only a 2. Re-roll. That's a wasted command reroll. Still a 2, so came off light there, even killed a Berserker.
3 pistols.
Okay. So what was that? 4, 3 hits.
1.
Needing 5, so just the 1. Saved on a 3. Make it on a 4. It's good news. Okay, so we've got this damaged Land Raider. It's hitting on 4s now with its damage. And it's going to be extended hitting on 5s against the flyers, so everything's firing at the flyers. So las cannons needing 5s, only 1 hit. No rerolls available there, and it's no good. Command rerolls already being used. So bolters. Here come the heavy bolters, and no hit so far, but can reroll that 1, and still misses. I've got the Land Raider in the distance now, all guns at the jet fighter. So las cannons. This one's hitting on 4s now because this one's fresh. So reroll 1s, triple hit, and it's a quadruple hit. Oh dear, right, 3s to wound. And that's a full house as well. Right, this is awful stuff. Gonna have to save on invulnerable 4s. We'll only make 2, so 2 go through. Is it worth? Got 10 wounds. I've already taken 2. We're going to get shot at the sky, I think. Yeah, we're going to command reroll one of these. It's 50-50, we might as well. Command reroll. We've made it, right, so only 1 goes through. Let's see if we get our stratagem back now over here. No, we don't, so that's gone. Down to 2 stratagems left, but this is the damage. D6. 5. So plus the 2 that we've already taken, that's 7. We have 3 wounds left. It's teetering on the edge.
Heavy bolters.
Yeah, heavy bolters hitting on 4s.
3, 6, 7, 8. No, only 6.
Yeah, 6 shots. And there's 3 hits. 5 to wound. Just the 1 wound. 7 on a 4. Here we come. Don't get it right, so we're on 2 wounds left now. Alright, so the Terminator's going to try and pitch in and shave those last 2 wounds off. They're not overcharging, so just straight plasma blast. So 4 of them. They're hitting on 4s, so there's 3 clean hits. Right, so this is only toughness 6, so wound on 3s. Gets 2. Invulnerable save. Save us again, please. No, both go through, nothing we can do. Does it explode? No. Right, so the jet fighter goes down. we've lost an asset. Okay, so with the jet fighter going down, that's 2 points for the World Eaters. They've got For the Dark Gods and Scour the Sky, so another 2 points. So the World Eaters are just pulling away. They've got 6 points now. Dark Angels, because we've held this in the World Eaters' turn, that's 2 points for them. So there's only a 4-point difference now. We're just going to have to fight hard. We've lost 2 key assets there. We've lost the Flyer, which has had some really good firepower on it, and then we didn't even get a shot off with the Vengeance, which has got some good anti-armor fire on it as well. So we're running out of options to take out these Land Raiders. We're going to have to see what we can come up with. Right, turn 2 for the Dark Angels. It's looking already pretty desperate. We're going to have to pull back with this unit in the corner here, away from the objective. We can't afford for the Demon Prince to come swooping in on us from there. So we just have to make them work for it. We've had the Land Speeder go up to the top floor. It's going to shoot down. We've got the bikes moving around to here with Black Knights ready to pump these full of plasma, hopefully. Got Samuel, he's moved across to give them re-rolls. The Apothecary's on hand to do some stuff as well. We've got the Land Raiders pulling forward just a bit. We need to take out this Rhino, expose Khan and those Berserkers, because we need to shoot them. If they spring the attack, then the battle is probably lost already. We're going to have to do something. We've got the Berserkers out in the field. That's where I wanted them to be, but we just can't bring the firepower to bear on them, or the right kind of firepower. The Land Speeder from here has gone up onto the top of this bastion. I can see through that gap there. It's got its choice of Land Raider. We're hoping we can take out that rear Land Raider. If we do, we're going to get the score No Forgiveness, because we need points. And we will get a point for this objective at the end of the turn. It was a mission critical objective, so we're lucky, rolled a 1. It's an objective that we've been scoring in the last turn as well. So going to get a point out of this. Hopefully we can get another if we're lucky with these Raven Wing rockets. And we can hopefully take out some Terminators. Over here, these bikes are going to stay put behind the bastion. We've measured it, we can move flat out onto this objective, or the one in the trench over there at will. So hopefully that comes up at some point. There's no World Eater presence over here, so we can take that side. But that's about it. We've got Samuel joining the fight over here, if I didn't mention. Just going to try and shoot them at long range. We've just got to stay at arm's length. We cannot get near these World Eaters. Okay, and the last movement we're doing, we decided to get the Warlord Librarian out, so he's standing in the open now. He is protected, he's not the nearest unit, but he's going to need to offer his smite attack to this Rhino here. We're going to try and do a version on these Terminators in case they don't die. So we don't want to get shot by combi plasmas. Okay, so we're going to move into the Psychic phase here. We've got the Psyches, and within 24 of these Terminators we're going to do an Interomancy power. It's a version. It just means if we get this off, they'll be at a -1 to hit, which could be nice with those plasma. So a 6 is what we need, and we get it on a 9. So the World Eaters do have Scorn of Sorcerer's stratagem, which they could play. On a 4+ that would deny. So
we've got 2 command points left. I think we'll just hang on to those.
Okay, so he's not going to deny using the World Eater's stratagem. He's going to allow that one to slip through. So they're now at a -1. Okay, last power we're going to smite the Rhino. See if we can knock a few points off it. So that comes off on the 8. Are you going to use the Scorn of Sorcerer stratagem? No. So D3 mortal wounds coming its way. We get 2. Right, so the Rhino's got 2 wounds remaining. Okay, shooting phase, we're going to have the Raven Wing Apothecary. He's going to fire into the Rhino. He's not overcharging the plasma. He's not going to do it because he's popped smoke. It's at a -1 to hit. So 2 shots hitting on 4s, and we'll get both hits. 3s to wound. No, it's 4s to wound. We get 1 wound, so he's saving on 6. Doesn't get it right. There's the Rhino on his last wound now. Alright, we're going to fire up the Black Knights now. We're going to use the weapons from the Dark Age stratagem, which boosts our damage up by 1, and we're going to shoot at the Terminators. So there it is, costs 1 command point. Let's see if we can get it back with the Warlord trait. No, that one goes forever as well. Okay, we've got 1 command point left in the game. So these are now damaged to Plasma Talons. So we've got 2 firing, we're not overcharging, and we are within 6 of Samuel. So we've got 2 Plasma Talons going at the Terminators, and we've got the Raven Wing Grenade Launcher. It's going to fire at the Rhino, try and take that last wound off it. So So 2 plasma talons, all hit. 3 still wound on the Terminator. 2 wounds. So 7 on 5s for these Terminators, but each failure is a death. So 2 Terminators have died. Damage 2, so that stratagem working quite well. And then the Ravenwing grenade launcher, I'm going to have to check if it's in rapid fire. Okay, I'm not within 12, but it doesn't matter anymore because it's an assault weapon. So it's assault 2 at 24-inch range, so we're going to fire 2 strength 6 AP -1 shots at it. So we're needing 4 to hit the Rhino. So that's a miss, but we can't re-roll because of Samuel, because that is acted as a hit, then -1 because of the way the thing works. So strength 6 against the Rhino, and that is not good enough. Right, we really wanted to knock this Rhino out so we can try and expose the contents to more wither and firepower, but it's not happening. So we're going to have to do Samuel. He's going to fire at the Rhino, so we've got all shots going at the Rhino. So we've got 2 Storm Bolters hitting on 3s because he popped smoke. So they work. 5s. Oh, we'll get 2 wounds. We need to save 2 on 3s, or else the Rhino goes. Right, the Rhino has gone. No need to open up with the plasma cannon. So let's see if it explodes. Does not explode, but there's 6 guys on board. So 6 dice. Any 1s will kill the people on board. So let's hope for a bunch of 1s here. Not a single one. So they'll all climb out the wreckage untouched, and it does not explode. Okay, so they disembark from the tank, or the APC rather. So they've had choices to go out the back and be safe from the Land Raider, or just somewhere lesser, but they've chosen to get right out in the front. We didn't deploy the Terminators because we thought they would have went round the corner and then sprung a counter-attack, so they are near, but they're at the mercy of the Land Raider's next shooting attack. But we'll have to see what happens here. So we'll tune up the band, get the ammo loaded, see who remains. Right, so the Land Raider is going to fire the Hurricane Bolters and Assault Cannons at the Berserker Squad. We can't allow any survivors because they're so dangerous. And then we're going to fire the multi-melter overhead at the Land Raider in the background. So we're going to do the Assault Cannon first. Rerolling 1s because of Samuel being close. Yep. Right. 3s to wound. Here we go. And 2 slip away. 3 slip away. So that is 8 wounds on the Berserkers, 7 on 4s. Let's see if they're up to it. Well, it wasn't a bad effort, but 1, 2, 3 Berserkers drop down. Now we've got the Hurricane Bolters. Right, the Hurricane Bolters easily see off the last 2 Berserkers. So Khan is exposed. He's amongst the wreckage and the bodies, but that's right where he lives anyway. If you've ever heard about Khan's cave that he lives in, it's just pretty much standard stuff for him. So we feel like we've been here before with Khan assaulting white Land Raiders, so we're going to have to see what he does in the next turn. We might even assault him first, because we've got frag assault launchers. That could be a good idea, in fact. But first we're going to fire the multi-melter across his head at this Land Raider as promised. So here we go. We have hit. Right, so needing a 4. No. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to re-roll this wound roll, because his Warlord trait allows us to re-roll once per game a single dice, much like a command re-roll. So now that he's out in the field he can do that. So we're going to try and get a 4. No, it's a skull, and that means it's a 1.
Skull digger.
Right, so we're on to our last shots for the turn, and this needs a miracle. We need the Lion's Blessing for this, so we're going to fire Land Speeder at that far Land Raider, so 2 rockets coming his way, and Heavy Bolters down at the Berserkers. So we need 2 rockets. It did move, we're hitting on 4s. Right, we've got 1, it's good enough. Needing a 4. We do get it, right, the Land Raider's saving on a 4. Ah, oh, denied. Right, Heavy Bolters down at the Berserkers. 2 hits, 3s to wound. There's 1 wound, saving on a 4. Alright, we do smoke the Berserker. Right, we've got the same situation over here. We've got this Land Speeder. He's going to fire at the same Land Raider in the distance, and he's going to fire his Heavy Bolter down at the bikes in the window. So, bikes in the window, all hit on 4s. 4s to wound, just 1 wound. Bike's saving on a straight 3 because oh no, bikes don't get cover actually, so he's saving on a 4, and he's mixed it anyway. So right, missiles at the Land Raider, and we've missed. We're really hoping we could get rid of that Land Raider because that would have gave us a point there, but that is it. Got no more shooting. What should we do? I think what we're going to do is we're going to assault Khan with the Land Raider, or should we just try and leave it to the Overwatch? Because the frag assault launchers on a 4+, we can do D3 mortal wounds, would lock them up, that would stop them hunting down some weaker targets. No, we're not going to assault them, just going to leave them be. Okay, so that's the end of the turn for the Dark Angels. Only 1 point there for objective 1 for mission critical objective. So points are coming in, but there's just not enough of them. Turn 3 for the World Eaters, and Khorne has blessed them indeed. A lot of points expected in this turn. They needed Supremacy, so that's 3 objectives they need to hold. So they did roll a 6 to advance through the wall here and get to this objective. That was the crucial one, so they're holding that one. The Land Raiders go back for that objective in the distance, and the bikes turbo boost over to here to this objective in the trench and claim that one. So that's 3 objectives. The 2 Land Raiders do go back as well, and the bikes stay in their deployment zone, which gives them hold the line as well. So there's 2 points, well, 2 objectives in the bank there. And the Demon Prince is climbing the building here. He's this close to the land speeder, so when he tears it out the sky, that's going to be another victory point for when that happens. I've forgotten what that objective's called, but it's definitely going to happen, that one, I think. So a lot of points expected for the World Eaters here. On the front of Blood and Skulls, Khan goes forward. He's going to get a charge off, or he's going to at least charge these Black Knights here. He's got his options, but he's choosing the weakest squad out of them all. It's the wise decision. The Terminators advance, don't advance, they just walk forward, should we say. They're going to put their plasma shots on the bikes as well, probably help Khan out a little bit. They are suffering the effects of aversion, so they will be at a -1 to hit. So aside from that, the World Eaters have taken a little bit of damage. They're starting to look a bit sparse. They've had to pull back, as is the will of Khorne, but they've got all the points that can do what they like at this point. So here we go. Let's see what shots they're going to send the Dark Angels away. Right, the Terminator's going to shoot first. They're not overcharging because of the aversion. They're going to shoot into these bikes. So one's in rapid fire, one isn't. So 3 shots. And luckily they didn't, because that would have been 2 dead. So 1 hit, needing a 3. Gets it right. So Riverwing Biker saving on a 6. We did not go flat out. Oh, look at that. Blessed with the sword and wings. So saved. Khan, is he going to fire his pistol?
Yeah, well, I suppose he has to, hasn't he?
And is he going to fire at the bikes as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so he hits on a 2. Does it? And then he's wounding on a 3. Does it as well. So this is automatically overcharged. So it's, I think it's AP -3, or is it 4? We'll have to check. Right, so it's AP -3, so on a 6 we saved. We do not save, so we're going to take out the middle bike because it'll further Khan's charge. And we've just forgot we didn't even fire the Reaper autocannon. Yeah. So that's got 4 shots. You move with a heavy weapon, so it's 4s, and then aversion means you're hitting on 5s. That's probably why I forgot about it. He gets 1 hit, and he does wound, so we're saving on a 4. No, a bike takes a wound. So it's actually a wound on this bike, then Khan would have shot and finished him off with that pistol. So just one bike dead, even though the Reaper autocannon did speak. These are only damage 1 Reaper autocannons, they're not damage 2 like Imperial ones. Don't know why, but they are. Okay, so the Land Raider at the back, he's going to fire at these bikes, the already damaged bikes, so heavy bolters and las cannons.
Not quite as bad, this one.
Yeah. So this one's hitting on 3s.
3.
Yeah. And wounds on 3s. Okay, there's 2 hits on the bikes. 6s. No, could have done without invulnerable save, so do the damage. First one, kills the bike. Second one, kills the bike. Right, so Khan doesn't have to take out these black knights now. He can do a charge at any one of these characters. Okay, to finish off the shooting phase, the second Land Raider, the wounded one, shot at these bikes. Only achieved 1 wound with a heavy bolter. Las cannons missed, luckily. Pistols down here shot up at the land speeder, caused a wound on it, so it's got 5 left. I'm sure the Demon Prince will easily finish that off in combat, so that's what we're going to now. Charges. See what Khan the Betrayer does. Alright, Khan is going to go for the Apothecary. He's going to charge around the woods, which means he doesn't have to extend his charge range by 2. Now, it's still a 9-inch charge, so we're going to have to overwatch him. We're not going to overcharge because we've just got to fail and we'll kill ourselves. In fact, you know what? We will overcharge. Go out in a blaze of glory. Here we go. Do roll a 1. But he's next to Samuel, which means we can reroll all filter hit rolls. So he doesn't kill himself, but he doesn't get a hit either. Oh well. So does Khan get a 9?
He does.
He does get a 9, right. So in goes Khan. So there we go. The gods are definitely with the World Eaters today, or at least one, the most important god is. He's kept out 3 inches from Samuel, so we can't do a heroic intervention, so this Apothecary is doomed. Big time. Right, the Demon Prince charges in, no damage from the Overwatch, and he's in there, he's ready to tear it down. So who will be fighting first?
We'll do the Demon Prince and then we'll do the nice bit.
Right, Demon Prince, he's got 9 attacks, so he's hitting on 2s. Rerolls 1s, and any 6, he's got 3 6s in there, so that's an extra 3, because of Death of the False Emperor. And he's strength 7, isn't he? So he's going to need 3s to wound. Okay, shocking amount of wounds there. So on C5, we're going to try and save 5. And failed 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 damage already, so that it does die. Let's see if it explodes. Does not explode, right? So we've lost more firepower. So not only have we lost more firepower, it's a victory point as well. What's the stratagem called? Not the stratagem, the objective.
Rise to Glory.
Rise to Glory. Here comes Khan and 7 attacks. And he's hit them all. No Death to the False Emperors there. And no misses either. So, wound on 3s. And the Apothecary is dead. It was just that simple. Right, so Khan then piles in 3 inches. He can do so towards Samuel if he likes. But he would be fought. And he can't hurt Samuel because he did not charge him, so he's probably not going to want to do it. Right, Khan has chosen to pile in after much thought. It is the defensive thing to do. He's going to have to take a round of combat unanswered from Samuel. But if he can survive that combat, which he probably should, he'll not get shot next turn, and obviously Samuel can't charge him. Because Samuel is good on the charge, he's good not on the charge, but he's brilliant on the charge. So it's a defensive move. He's going to have to take a dice of death here with Samuel, but it is the right decision. Okay, so here comes Samuel with a Raven Sword, hitting on 2s. Rerolls 1s, and he gets them all. We did think about doing Never Forgive, Never Forget, which is basically Death of the False Emperor, and that could have been good there, but nope, didn't do it. So strength 5 with the Raven Sword, and we get 3 wounds. Raven Sword is damaged 2, so you need to save on 4s, because it's AP minus 3. Khan makes 1, so he's taking 4 damage in total. Right, so Khan's going to try and command reroll one of those blows and makes it. Right, so he's only taking 2 damage in fact. Right, so that is the end of the World Eater's turn there. These two are bitter rivals, these two, if you saw the last game.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what happens there, how that progresses, but
they like each other not.
That is the end of the World Eater's turn, so we're going to see the points. We've got 1 point for hold the line, 1 point for taking out that land speeder, and there's D3 points for supremacy. So let's see if...
Try really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works. Right, so they're just setting over the horizon here with the points and waving goodbye to the Dark Angel's dreams here. 5 points in that turn. Dark Angel's getting left behind. Right, Dark Angel's turn 3, and we might get some points, but nowhere near enough. We've got Master the Warp, which we could do. Secure Objective 1 in the woods again. This is the only one we've been scoring. We've got a really mobile army. We can whip out there, get objectives, but seems like this is the most important wood on the board, so we're going to have to take that one again. Still, we have Kingslayer, and the Demon Prince is up in the tree there, so just have to shake the tree, see if he falls out with something. We've got the Ravenwing bikes going forward here. There's 4 berserkers they're going to have to take on. We can rapid fire. We've got a melter gun. Oh, it's going to be hard work though. Definitely not berserkers for just munching things up. Here the librarian steps round. We're going to try and deal with Khan once and for all and score that objective, and hopefully Samuel will see him off. He has taken 2 wounds, so he's got a few left. See what happens there. We were thinking about getting the Terminators out and charging these Terminators, but the counter attack would be too strong. The Demon Prince would swoop down, the las cannons would shoot at the Terminators and whittle them down, and the Demon Prince would come and finish them off. So we can't unleash the Terminators and Asmodai yet. Been waiting forever to do it, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to come, and if we do it, it'll be a waste. So we're just going to have to hold on a little bit longer. So we're going to try and hose these Terminators down, just close the distance a little bit further. Land Speeder stays still, and these bikes come out from around the bastion. Just going to take the fight to these bikes, see if we can do them in somehow. So we'll have to see. Okay, so Psychic Phase, we're going to do Smite on Khan the Betrayer. So that comes off on a 8. Will you Scorn of Sorcery?
Gonna have to.
Right, last command point in the World Eaters using the Scorn of Sorcery means on a 4+, they get to deny that psychic power going off. And it doesn't happen, so that was the last command point used. So it's D3 wounds on Khan. Khan's not saving him this time, hopefully. Just 1 wound. Well,
he still likes him.
He's taking 3 wounds now. Right, Khan's got 2 wounds left. We're going to try and blow his head off with a, or blow a portion of his head off with a ball pistol from Samuel. He's hit on a 2, forced a wound. We'll get it. Khan's saved on a 3. He does it on a 4, sneakily behind the Terminator. Right, these bikes are going to rapid fire into the Berserkers. We need a stellar performance from these. And a few 1s in there, but a couple more 2s. Could have been better. Okay, forced a wound. Reroll that. Right, 4 wounds on the Berserkers. Come on, big fail here. Give us a break.
1. Just
1, and then we've got a melter gun, and done what a melter gun does, and roll a 1. Alright, we've got the Land Raider trying to do some hard work with doing the assault cannon at the Terminators, Hurricane Bolters at this unit in the distance, and then multi-melter at the Land Raider. But we've done the assault cannon, 7 wounds on these Terminators, save on 3s. Oh, right, so there's
3 wounds.
3 wounds, so it's 1.5. And then we've got the Hurricane Bolters at the squad at the back. The Hurricane Bolters put 5 wounds on this Berserker squad up here. And they pass every single one, just kind of catch a break here. Multi-melter at the nearest Land Raider, because it's the only one we can get. We've hit this time. Can we make it count? No, once again, melter guns betray us. Okay, we've got to do a version. We're going to do that on Khan. This is the psychic test. 7, that works. Passes on a 6, so 7 will do. Khan is at a -1 to hit. Okay, so we've fired the rest of our shots here. We've had the Land Speeder firing at the bikes, only killed 1 with a rocket. Bikes firing, don't do anything. And then of course we know that this bike squad didn't do much either, so it was a terrible round here. Loads of saving for the World Eaters, just cannot crack them whatsoever. It's just too tough. As if it wasn't bad enough on the points as well. So we're going to get desperate here. We're going to have to charge the Land Raider in with our frag assault launchers, see if we can take out the Terminator at least.
Oh, that old chestnut.
That old chestnut. Going to have the bikes charge in on the corn bikes, but we've got a power sword in there, but it's really hard work. And then we've got the librarian going in here. Right, so we've decided that the Land Raider is going to assault. We've made it to the Overwatch without a scratch. Basically because if we can tie these Terminators up, it'll stop us getting shot by loads of las cannons. Here we go. And we'll make it in. So immediately we'll see if we trigger those assault launchers on 4+. Oh, we don't. We do not. Right, just have to lump at them. Okay, so we've had these 3 bikes charge into the 3 berserkers without a scratch, luckily. The librarian can't charge into Khan because we need to hold this objective, unfortunately. The bikes have danced through the Overwatch with no damage. We need a 7-inch charge for them. And we do. We get a 9. 3-man bike squad has achieved 3 wounds on these berserkers. Let's see if they save. And they do. Just cannot do anything against these World Eaters. Okay, we had the Land Raider next. Just couldn't get a hit. Just couldn't run a Terminator over. And then these, even worse, just couldn't get a hit or a wound. So they're not happening. There was a power sword. We're hoping that he would just cut some down, but nope. So we're going to go to the non-charge fight. So it's back over to Samuel. It's got 5 attacks. It's going to try and deal with Khan now. 2. Okay, reroll 1s. Okay. 3s to wound Khan. And we'll pass them all. Right, so Khan has 5 wounds to save on 4s. If he passes these, I will cry and then concede. He almost did, but there's 2 fails in there. Ran out of command points to reroll. So 2 fails
I've actually got
is 4 damage. So it doesn't even matter if you were to reroll that, Khan has died. Because he's only got 2 wounds left. Right. Each blow does 2 damage.
Yeah.
Right, so Samuel victorious this time. It wasn't put to the axe and put Khan to the sword. So there's a rivalry brewing between those 2. 1 each now. Alright, so it's over here. They've got these 3 berserkers. There's 3 of them, but one's got a power sword, and that's deadly. They fight twice with 100 billion attacks. Okay, so we're just going to do the power sword. They do fight twice, but we're just going to do that all together because it's not going to matter really. So 6 attacks because he's fighting twice, and he's hit all but 1. And it's strength 5 of the power sword. He's wounding on 4s. And there we go, there's 4 wounds on the Raven Wings. I have to save on 6s. Not 1, so one of them already had a wound, so that's him dead. There's another bike dead, and it's a wound on the sergeant. Right, and then 4 attacks each from each guy going twice. So they all hit, and there's 2 Death of the False Emperors in there as well. Those 2 Death of the False Emperors have to roll the hit. They're not automatic hits, they're not Tesla. They do have to hit. There we go. Okay, so these are strength 5, so needing 4s again. 4s to wound then. And it's a C of attacks. Right, so 7 on 3s, or else this bike is dead. And he's dead. Try to put up a good fight, but just one of them finally cracks his dome in. Right, I had the Terminators fight that didn't do anything to the Land Raider, as we predicted. Over here, absolutely terrible. 1 Ravenwing bike goes down, and that's pretty much even. So fired bikes, all the special weapons, and a land speeder at the bikes killed 1, charged them, and then we ended up losing 1 as well. So even though we sprang the attack there, left looking like fools. So we've lost 1 out of that squad, and it's really painful. So it's going to hand over to the World Eaters now. It's just not looking good for the Dark Angels, but we did get 2 points there. We've got objective 1 in the woods, secure objective 1, which seems to be important these days, and we've got Master the Warp because we pulled off a psychic power with, well, pulled off 2 of them, but only required 1. So 2 points to the Dark Angels there, still nowhere near enough to even come close to worrying the World Eaters. Right, so it's World Eaters turn 4. They don't particularly need to be aggressive anymore, it goes against the nature, but they're playing it smart. It is the will of Khorne, somehow. So they're diving into the corner here. The reason why is because they need behind enemy lines, so they're getting Demon Prince, he advanced right into the corner here, this unit here, advanced into the deployment zone, and the Terminators just shuffle off that combat and into the deployment zone. So that's going to be D3 victory points for them for doing that. This unit just drops back towards the base of Land Raiders. They've done their job now, and they need to defend Objective 5 over here. So because we took a Raven Wing biker from the left, because he was the one with just a pistol, we've exposed that, so we're going to need to do something about that, but there's not much we can do. So that is the end of World Eaters' moving phase. They've still got some shots to do. So because these broke off the combat, the Land Raider is now at the mercy of the las cannons again. So here we go. Alright, so we've got this Land Raider on the edge here. This is damage, so it's hitting on 4s. All weapons at the Land Raider. So 4 las cannons.
No.
All missed. Alright, heavy bolters. 6 shots. And 2 hits. 5s. Get 1. So save on 3. And we save on that armour. Right, next.
So is it this?
All weapons. Right, so las cannons, heavy bolters up top at this land speeder up on high. 2 hits.
2 hits.
3 to wound. Double wound, right, so 7 on 6s. We get 1, fail 1. Damage is a 2, so we do survive. Right, land speeder's got 4 wounds left. See if the heavy bolters can polish it off. 4 hits. And there's 3 wounds. Okay, so right, fail 1, so we've got 3 wounds left, but land speeders don't degrade or anything, they just go until they're dead. So 3 wounds left on that land speeder. Right, we've done all the shooting for the World Eaters, and we've even done the combat as well. So there's just these bikes going at it, 1 wound apiece. The power sword is just not working, but those chain swords are. So 1 wound apiece. It's going to be a hard fight over there, and they need to secure that objective there. So they're on track to get another 2 points if they can just hold on to that objective in the trench. So that is the end of the turn. So is it D3 victory points for line breaker?
Yeah.
Or behind enemy lines rather. So D3. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, there's another 3. It's just gone. It's gone. And what was the other one that you had?
Defend objective 5.
Defend objective 5, right, so that's still in the bank, those 2 victory points over there, but another whopping 3 points for just breaking the lines of the Dark Angels. Right, we're in the Dark Angels turn 4, just looking at the options here, and these are the cards that we've pulled. Defend objective 2, defend objective 6. So defend objective 2 is right over where the Land Raiders are, so that's off the menu. Defend objective 6 is here. It's possible Samuel could fly over there and take that, but it's 2 points, and the card that we've had for ages is Kingslayer, because we thought the Demon Prince would come swooping in, but he hasn't. He's just skirting around the outskirts and he's staying elusive, so we can't actually get him at all, I don't think. And it's 14-5 to the World Eaters, so there's no way back for the Dark Angels. Just gonna have to call it there, especially with those cards. Just cannot do anything. World Eaters just getting the best of it there. Just couldn't really do much damage to them, it seemed. Just getting hammered, losing all of the support vehicles, just losing firepower fast, and then in the end just can't actually harm them. So we will take some glory out of that. We did have Samuel avenge his loss to Khan, to the 1 each now. Possibly a rubber match on the card. I'll not be playing this exact army again because it was just a before and after, and I think they did about the same. I think the only difference is we got the points went down, so we were able to get a librarian in the force, but even then it wasn't enough to change the tide.